Welcome to DTV. It's the first morning of the trade week, and talking to Tim Harrington, who's going to be the guy who's going to be right amongst it for Melbourne this week. You head up the list management here. What's it going to be like this week, Tim?
Different again this year, given that the trading scheme comes into play. So the compensatory picks that teams have been given for uncontracted players over the last 2 years will come into play in that scheme. We're really keen on that. We think we could land ourselves one of the elite under 17-year-old kids or 17-year-old kids who aren't currently draftable but would be available next year. So it's a bit of a bidding system, so you've got to work out what you're willing to spend, but there's a pool of half a dozen kids in that who will be elite AFL players. They'll probably be in the top 10 of next year's draft. So we'd like to get on that scheme, so that'll be a focus for us. But obviously in any auction you don't want to overbid. Yep. So you've got to know what your get out point is. So we're very clear about that. I think that might then hold up potentially some of the trades that might have occurred earlier. So that by Thursday that bidding system is finalised, that Greater West Sydney award, if that's the right word, the selections. They can use up to 4 this year. They'll probably hold over 1 at least for next year. So they get 2 years to use the 4 selections. After Thursday, when those selections are given out, then there'll be more of a mad rush as to establish players on AFL lists and swapping of players.
Will Melbourne be targeting several players from other clubs, or is it just a bit of a wait and see at this stage?
No, we've targeted players, and we've already spoken to players and managers, and some of the discussions that we've had for the last couple of months and that have heated up of late have gone forward. Others have been crossed out to say that no, the player's staying at their club, or that we wouldn't be able to do a deal. So that'll all progress obviously again this week. We are a club who have a young list who we think are going to be a group that can bring the club forward, and if we can keep this group together, we think we can have some long-term success because of the talented nature of the draft picks that we've had. So we've just got to make sure we seed the list in the right way, bring the right player in at the right time.
And in terms of player retention for us, is it pretty much most players off limits, or are there going to be a couple who might move? How's it going to shape up there?
Well, like any trading period, you say that sometimes a club will come at you with a player who you hadn't expected that would generate interest, but they need a particular player for a particular role from an opposition club, and they come at you with an offer that you think, well, we'd certainly consider that. However, we think our group is a pretty stable sort of group. We want to make sure that we don't upset the apple cart. We want to make sure that we show loyalty and they in turn reciprocate. Yeah.
And just finally, trade week's a fascinating week. There's so many rumours and speculation and wheels and deals going on. What's it like actually being the list manager and being in the cut and thrust of it all?
If I summarise it, I say that of the 100% of information that you take in during the week, 2% of it comes to fruition or is true. Yep. That's not a very high percentage.
All right, mate. Well, it's going to be a big week, and it finishes next Monday, so it's a slightly longer one than I guess the previous years. Good luck, and we'll either see who comes to Melbourne or what we acquire.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thanks.